Peace, greetings. It's your girl Quentin Kenya coming to you live. I have to take a deep breath and sigh because of what we're going to be talking about. So, I want to talk about WAP, wet ass pussy. It has gotten a lot of attention. It is the new single by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So it's gotten a lot of attention within the last 24, 48 hours or so. I think it was released like on Friday, 2 days ago. So first I want to speak to the fact, just in general, that people in the world need to get ready and need to stop having this idea that whatever their morals, beliefs, and sense of journeying through life is, people need to get an understanding that just because you live like that, just because you think like that, doesn't necessarily mean that it works for everybody else. That's your choice. That's your lifestyle. That's your journey. Whatever you choose, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your morals are, that's your choice. Hopefully you actually took the time to think for yourself in your choosing, in regards to your choice. A lot of times people are just piggybacking off of other people's thoughts, morals, ideas, and beliefs, and they're just picking them up and carrying them on into their life, not realizing that they need to create their own life journey. That's neither here nor there. I won't prolong that aspect, but if we all would do that, if we all would not try to impose our beliefs or morals onto other people, but just be respectful, we could share. Yeah, we can share. We can share our life experiences. We can share our beliefs. We can have a conversation. We can even talk about it, go in depth without actually having to argue. But yeah, just talk about it and be able to just respect the other person's point of view. If we could do that and be able to communicate effectively and have an understanding of each other, it would make life so much easier. But instead, we have situations whereas people get all in their feelings and start feeling some kind of way when others don't represent the kind of lifestyle that they live. Now, this relates to this instance, what we're talking about, WAP, in a way, whereas people are, I don't even know what to say, flabbergasted. They are flabbergasted, appalled. A lot of people are about the release of WAP, how Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B has come together in with feminine energy, divine feminine energy. And as they have learned how to empower themselves with this divine feminine energy, with that vibration and frequency, and manifest greater wealth for themselves, many are coming against it, as they always do, in the eyes of society, looking upon the woman as if she can't control her own destiny. I totally believe that these women are not being exploited, these two particular women. I totally believe that what they are expressing is truly their character and a way of life that they have embraced for themselves in a manner of way of making money, creating wealth for themselves. So with that being said, I don't believe that there's no exploitation of these women. Okay, so to call them hoes, sluts, thoughts, derogatory terms, as some might say, but they call themselves that. So those are terms that they embrace. They are embracing that aspect and taking a twist with it in a positive way for themselves, just like some people agree to allow themselves, if they're brown like me, to be called a nigga. Whereas me, personally, I would not like to be called nigga. I don't like to say it towards others, but sometimes it just slips out. It just is what it is. But it's just the point I'm making. It's a preference. It's like an endearment. If you get to a point of endearment and embracing the idea of being called something, yeah, okay. So, I'm trying to fix my camera a little bit, but anyways, so back to the WAP thing. I don't want to be all over the place with this, but I do want to make my points. And one of the main points that I want to make is people start respecting other people's choices. If you want people to respect your life, respect your beliefs, respect your morals, then you should do the same toward them. No, everybody has their own journey. Know this. Everybody has their own lifestyle, their own things that they do, that they need to do, that they need to cultivate within this life to get them through this journey we call life. Some of us learn different things at the beginning, in the middle, towards the end. It's a different journey as we go. So, for the women who are appalled, and even the men who are appalled, I say to you, sit down. Sit down and, with all due respect, just move out of the way. Let the people who are embracing what Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are doing, let them just be. Okay? Because we don't need all the negativity. We don't need the negative energy. It don't matter if you have the fleck or whatever. You're just allowing yourself to get all riled up about a situation that has nothing to do with you. So you could just mind your business. If you don't care for the artist, fine. If you don't like their music, fine. If you don't like the images that they portray for themselves, fine. Then have nothing to do with it. Mind your business. You don't have to talk about them. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to do none of that. You might see it in passing or hear it in passing and keep it pushing. That's not for me. Keep it moving. I do that with a whole lot of stuff. And when I find myself doing that with certain artists, I don't come out the bag and just be like, well, so and so is like this and that is not right. There's no morals and they need to be role models. First of all, let me speak on this. These women are artists. Number one, they're artists. They're all about their paper, making the bag. They got into the position that they are in because it was business. It's about business. It's not their responsibility to be a role model for your child. It's your responsibility to be a role model for your child. First and foremost. Second of all, your children shouldn't be watching WAP anyway. How are they being exposed to it? Why are you allowing them to be exposed to it? There should be a certain air of protection when it comes to certain things being exposed to kids. You don't want your kids to be exposed to things too early in life before they're mature enough to wrap their mind around what's actually happening, what's actually being said, so on and so forth. That's why my channel, I even label it as not for kids because, some teenagers might come across my pages and the topics that I talk about, and they may be able to understand. Young children would not be able to understand. So I don't label my YouTube channel as such because I realize that it may be inappropriate. Some of the topics that I talk about, some of the things that I mention may be inappropriate for children. I am a former educator and I love, 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 love the kids. I love them. I love them. I do. And so I have an understanding, not only as an educator, but also as a woman who is a nurturer, not woman. Let me revise my words, because I learned the true meaning of woman, and it pretty much means slave to man. I'm nobody's slave. So female, okay, I can more so relate to that. So anyway, as I was saying, for the female that has the nurturing characteristics to love on the kids and having that understanding, it's naturally in us to be caregivers and lovers and nurturers. So for those females, I say, let them be, let them be that for their children, so on and so forth. But about this WAP, let me keep going back to this. What does WAP mean? I said it earlier. Wet ass pussy. Wet ass pussy. Who doesn't like wet ass pussy? Like literally, if you actually listen to the words to the song, it's bars. And there may be some things in the song that may be offensive to some people. But like I say, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. You don't have to cut people down, talk about them, or spew out derogatory, negative things toward people just because you don't agree or don't like what they're doing. There was something else I was going to say in regards to that, but I forget. I'm all over the place. But my thoughts with this, because I'm so touched in a special kind of way when it comes to topics of this nature, because I am totally for the empowerment movement that is happening within this age of Aquarius that we are quickly approaching. The vibe, the energy, divine feminine energy. I have freedom and liberation. I have been liberated within myself. I am no longer allowing a systematic governing to oppress me, nor a religious governing. Therefore, no religion. I have no religion. Am I spiritual? Yes. Do I embrace my spirituality? Yes. Do I believe in God? Yes. God is within me. I don't have to look outside to find God. God is within me. I just know that there's more to life. This is my truth. This is my beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And what I would love for people to understand is that everybody has their own truth. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own beliefs. Just be respectful. Can we all just get along and be respectful of other people's thoughts, beliefs, and morals? Like, we ain't got to accept it. We ain't got to agree. Just respect it and keep it pushing. A lot of times when people, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, and they bent out of shape, a lot of times it's because they see a reflection of themselves. It's a part of themselves that they hate. Either they can't really express themselves and be as free as they really want to be, wish they could be, or there's just some self-hatred there that they're not willing to address or admit. So, salute to Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. And there's a few of the women in the industry who have embraced the divine feminine energy and empowerment movement for females. Beyonce is another one, and people are constantly down on her bag because of her uprising status and her spiritual beliefs, how she has cultivated a platform for herself to express the true culturalism of her ancestry. True ancestry. She is a brown skinned girl, just like myself. Why not use the platform that she's been given to express that, to show forth truth about African ancestry and spiritualism? So, and quiet as it is kept, there is so much that so many people are just dumbfounded about and do not know. Ignorance is not bliss. If you don't know, get educated. Before you speak on something, do your research. Don't just believe any and everything. Excuse me, I'm yawning. Don't believe any and everything somebody tells you. It's unfortunate that we have been bamboozled and hoodwinked. Brown people, look at me. We have been bamboozled and hoodwinked. Yes, most definitely. Being in a country, being brought to a country that is not our own, having the land snatched from up under other people, not knowing our native tongue, our language, or whatever. It's just a lot. There's a lot of trauma in the lineage of brown people, black people, whatever you want to call them, the people who aren't of the Caucasian persuasion within America, especially. There's been so much traumatization all over the world, not just in America too, but all over the world in regards to brown people. So not to get all off on that, but just to relate it back to WAP. When there comes a time when the female realizes that there is power within her, and she taps into that power, that is an opportunity that must not be ignored, that must be explored, and at the highest level and extent. So this is what I tell you. There are women who will finally realize that for the longest they have suppressed feminine energy within themselves. They have been oppressed by society, and some women are still oppressed, not just by society, but religious institution as well. Look how women are treated within religious institutions and religious cultures. Overseas and like in the Muslim culture, women have to be covered and submissive and looking down and not looking at other men and not being speaking or until they're spoken to. Like, we are not here for you to rule over us. That y'all came from us. So quiet as kept, we are way more powerful than we are depicted in this world. There's so much power that lies within the woman, within her womb alone. And I think that for centuries, men have stifled that power, oppressed the women in their opportunity of growth and freedom and liberation. And we're finally getting to a place whereas women are taking their power back. They're realizing, hey, I'm powerful. I can do this. I can do this and get that. And I'm okay with just being myself and operating in this energy, this divine feminine energy to get what I want. And that doesn't just mean monetarily, that means in life, period. Because when you vibrate higher and have higher frequencies, you can obtain greater wealth. And we all know that wealth is not just money. Wealth is mindset. Wealth is peace. Wealth is love. Wealth is being on a greater understanding, having joy within, you know. It's so much more than just money. So, with all that being said, as you can tell by this video, I hope that you can tell that I am totally for WAP. Yes, I am totally for WAP. I am totally for the divine feminine energy and female empowerment movement. I'm totally for that. I look forward to the day where there are more light and dark conscious beings. And I said light and dark because it's yin and yang, a balance. Conscious beings within the earth that understand the importance of allowing people to be and live out their truth. No, you may not agree with it. No, you may not like it. But on the flip side of light, there's dark. And there's always going to be, whether you like it or not. Excuse me. Sorry for yawning. But as I was saying, there's always going to be that. To make a point, I'll say this. Unfortunately, all around the world, there are children, and this has been happening for years and centuries, who are sexually molested, assaulted, abused, misused, killed, taken for their organs, made into sex slaves, things of that nature. And this has been happening forever, especially with brown children. And so that's the dark side of it, okay? The light side of it is people loving, taking care of children and just rearing them up in a way that they should go, and being role models for them, nurturing them, loving them, allowing them a path to their own life journey of freedom and liberation. For those who help cultivate the young minds of children through education and arts. There's always a flip side of something. So if you have the dark, you have the light. Dark and light. This the yin and the yang. Come on, people. Dark, light, the yin and the yang. You have to have it. It's a part of life. You have to have it. So some might say, one day I just want the whole world to be one world, one harmony, one peace. Okay, great. Sounds great, but it'll never happen. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm not being not being optimistic, but I'm being in a way that I understand how the law of, not just the law of attraction, but the law of the universe works. A lot of things are pretty much basically on vibration and frequency, and whatever we put out is what we get back. And if you've not known about hermetic principles of life, you might want to look into that and just try to gain some understanding, because there's always going to be the flip side of that positivity. There's always going to be that negativity. Excuse me, I cannot believe that I am yawning over and over again. Okay, so I am going to end this video very shortly, but I want you to know this. And I don't know if I'll label this as a soul inspiration, although it very well could be. The bottom line of what I'm saying and what I really want people to grasp and gain from this video: WAP is beautiful. Wet ass pussy is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's empowering. It can touch a part of you if you allow it to. If you sit there and watch that video, something's going to happen. If you just flow in it, you know, not automatically start thinking from your head, within your mind, analytically, not allowing yourself to get offended by what you see, because this is what I don't like. I don't like when men sit up like they're on a high horse and look down upon women who find themselves in the place of like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. And they look down upon them and they be like, oh, they're sluts, they're hoes, this, that, and the third. They're not role models for the children. They're not showing our kids what they should aspire to be. They're not, they're dealing with some kind of childhood traumas or not. That's why they've come to this kind of living and lifestyle, so on and so forth. Well, to those men, I say to you, when you are ready to indulge in your erotica or sexual interactions, what kind of women do you look for? Do you go looking for the woman that's fully clothed? Or do you find yourself looking for porn or images that represent people like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion? Do you find yourself looking for images like that? I can guarantee 9 times out of 10 you do. So why is it that when women like Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, and so many more are free within themselves, liberated within themselves, confident within themselves enough to embrace the badassness that they possessed? That's confidence. They know they got wet ass pussy. They flaunting it all in your face. They know you want it. They're telling you. They know what power they have with that. And it's not just about getting money, even though it is. Now, it's kind of tricky. But if you can open your mind to understand that literally high vibrational people are getting what they want more now so than ever, because it's easier to manifest right now in this season, even though the world around us is so chaotic. Even though it seems like we're I have to be careful with my words. So even though it seems like we may be in a place that's unpleasant, things are still happening for people. People are still manifesting. Great things are happening. People are still living their lives and being blessed when not blessed, but okay, I'll just leave that word there. Blessed within their times, okay? These times. But when I say blessed, I mean some people are still receiving greater good opportunities, just great things for themselves, even in a time where things seem like they're lacking or we're in a drought season. You know, some people are still building empires and getting wealth and making things happen for themselves and their families. Like some of us are still doing that. So when you find yourself not being able to relate to a Cardi B or to a Meg the Stallion or to someone like me, don't point a finger. You're not there. Because look, you got these pointing back at you. So, oh God, you want to call me when I'm doing a live? Okay, so I'm going to end this live because I got too much stuff going on right now. But I just had to come on. And I can come back and talk about this later because I'm going to talk about this again when, not per se this particular topic, WAP, but just the whole idea of being able to respect other people's lives, like their thoughts, their beliefs, their morals. Respect, yo. That's what this boils down to. That's the bottom line. These women have chosen a path for themselves. Stop trying to save people. Stop trying to save her. She don't want to be saved. They have saved themselves. That's why they're in the position that they're in. They're getting greater opportunities for themselves. They're living greater lives now. Now, mind you, there are still some obstacles and trials and tribulations sometimes on these paths. They're still there. Those are growing things. That's things that we have to go through to grow through. We still got to go through stuff, but it's still the path that they chose for themselves. So if that's the path they chose for themselves, then please, by all means, if you don't agree with it, if you don't like it, turn your head. Keep it moving. Mind your business and let them live their lives. You don't have to say nothing about it. That's wasted energy. You want to put all your feelings and emotions into what somebody else is doing ain't got to do with you. You're wasting your time and your energy. You want to talk about it and try to belittle them and make them seem like they're so bad. Dig deep within yourself and find out what's really going on with you, why you think the way that you think or why you feel the way that you feel about that. Start doing some inner self-work within yourself. Because so many people are traumatized and not dealing with hurt. And they're constantly projecting that stuff off on other people. So, in my closing statement, I am going to say this. WAP has become like a national anthem for me. Yes, love it. I respect those women, not women, forgive me, because they are not slaves to men. They have proven that. I respect those females because they have done their due diligence. They've done the work. They've honed a craft. They have gone through all kinds of stuff to get into the position that they're in. And finally, they are in a position to reap benefits greater than ever before. All by being free and liberating and operating in their frequency of high vibrational, erotic, sexual energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with them being able to express themselves and being free and liberated in their expression. There's nothing wrong with that. They're not hurting anyone. They're literally, physically not hurting anyone. It's not like they're pedophiles. It's not like they're molesters. So, and although some story might come out, that's a whole nother thing. I'm not going to go there. Because stories come out about people to try to make them look and seem a certain kind of way, and they're not. But those stories come out because people have different thoughts and ideas about these people, and they want to tear them down and, you know, make their reputation become null and void. I've said a lot. I hope that in anything that I have said, that you have gained some insight or allowed yourself to be open enough to look into situations like these greater than just looking at things on the surface. You know, FYI, I have WAP. And if you're interested, I do have an OnlyFans.com site, OnlyFans.com/Empress Queen. If you're interested, it's all about the feminine, divine feminine empowerment, you know, female energy, just moving rampant through this age that we're in, because we as women are finally waking up on a whole nother level and realizing, hey, it's time for me to get this walk. It's time for me to operate within my own feminine energy and free myself from the stagnancy and complacency of suppression and oppression that I have felt within American society and culturalism. And not just in America, because this is the case in other countries as well. But that's where I'm at. So that's why I speak on it. Okay? All right. Toodles, love, and light to all. Balance and foresight. I wish you all the best. I really do. And most of all, I really want us to get to a place where we can begin to be open-minded about the things that we come in contact with. If it strikes a nerve in you, really, honestly, it strikes a nerve in you for a reason. Dig deep. Ask yourself, why? Why am I bothered by this? Why does it strike a nerve in me? Ask yourself. You will get an answer. I'm sure you will. Ask yourself. Be willing to sit with that and wait for the response. So remember, everyone has their own journey. Your truth is your truth. Your beliefs is your belief. Your morals are your morals. Stop trying to make everybody be like you. Stop trying to impress and impose your thoughts, beliefs, morals on them. Respect. Respect where they are in their journey of life. Respect their morals and beliefs for them, not for you to adhere to what they're doing, but just to respect them as a being. Respect. And if you don't like what they're doing, cool, great. Mind your business and keep it moving. That's all I got to say. I'm out. Love and light. Greetings, peace, and all that jazz. It's your girl, Queen Kenya, aka Empress Queen, coming to you live. I hope that you have gained something from this, because I really poured out a lot.